Good morning. I'm back out in the garden again. And what I'm doing this morning, it's about 8:30 in the morning. This is my first time out. We already checked on my quail. But other than that, what we're doing this morning, we're going to harvest some of this ginger shampoo. It is ready to be harvested. Some of them are already starting to turn brown because if you do not harvest them, then they would just turn brown, die out, and go back into the soil, which is why I think this area is so huge. So let me show you the area that we're going to be harvesting from. Going to be harvesting from this area. The ginger shampoo is here. If y'all can see some of the little pink flowers in there. I just wanted to show you all, I'm walking through with the thing. I just wanted to show you all the area. I know some of you who follow the channel have seen it before, but there's plenty of ginger shampoo in there. And usually I don't cut them. When we start doing it during the earliest part of spring or summer, we just bend over with our containers and just squeeze them. But because some of them are dying out, I'll show you some that are dying out. And this is what they look like when they start to die out. So my daughter's been so busy. She works and then she works 2 jobs. She has a full-time job and a part-time job. But so she hasn't been back in here to squeeze them. But I'm going to come in and I'm going to do some today and just show you how we keep it, because I actually do use this. On Kaylani's hair. Sometimes you'll hear me repeat myself when I flip the camera around back to myself, because sometimes when you're changing the camera around, it cuts out what you're saying sometimes. But that's what we're going to be doing. I have my jar here that I'm going to put it in, and I also have a strainer because I'm going to just squeeze it in right on top of that. Okay, I'm going to be choosing this one here. Just want you to see how I cut it off. And I just simply cut it off. That's all I do. I just simply cut this one off. And I just come and I just squeeze. And I just got the strainer in here just because, you know, I don't know what's in this thing that might fall out. I don't want it falling in there because I don't want to have to fish anything out. And you just squeeze it. And normally I would not cut them off. I would just squeeze them, because if you leave them, they will fill right back up again. But they're already starting to die out. They're coming to the end of their season, just like a lot of spring and summer plants are. These are the same way. So I'm not worried about if they fill back up, because if we're going to benefit from them, we really need to go ahead on and harvest them. And usually my daughter, she would come out here with the big mason jars, and I had already cleaned and sanitized my jar. She would come out here with the big mason jars, and she would fill them up. She would just go through and squeeze, 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 and she would do 2 or 3 jars like that. I'm gonna get a couple of more. Got a few more. And this is basically all we do. And when I put it on Kaylani's hair, I do add a little water. But most people that I've seen in some of the YouTube channels, they stand right out in the field and squeeze this onto their hair and rinse their hair, wash their hair in it right out where they're growing it at. They don't add anything to it. But this is what we're doing this morning. I'm harvesting some of this. I just wanted to show you all the process of what we do and how simple it is. And I do have people that ask for this stuff. I do have people that, you know, want to buy these. So they just want the tops. And some of them want the liquid. So, and those are friends of my daughter's. So I kind of let her handle it, but I see that she's busy. You know, she's working a full-time and a part-time job. And that's one thing about my daughters now, they will work. And I just say anything that went through will be in there that will be beneficial to your hair. And that is what that looks like after you squeeze it. And that's after squeezing 3. And we know it doesn't take that much shampoo to wash your hair. At least I don't use this much shampoo on mine. This is about 2 or 3 ounces. I don't use 2 or 3 ounces of shampoo on my hair, even with it as long as it is. You know, so this will last. You just pour some of this on the hair, and I rub it into her scalp and to Kaylani's scalp. I don't wash my own hair, so honey, I don't have time for that. This is too much hair up here. So that's why I keep saying Kaylani's, because that's who hair I use it on. If my other granddaughters was here during the summer, I will use some of this on their hair as well. But yeah, that's what we're doing. And I just had my little latex gloves on for that. Just so we can, and it smells good. It smells like ginger. The root looks like a ginger root. I don't know if I ever showed you guys, but one time we had dug some up, me and the girls, during the summer. Before this area got filled up, we had dug some up just to see. And I'm going to just throw these back over there, let them go back to the ground. That's what I do. We just let them resort back. And once the bigger bushes and stuff, once the greenish gets brown and turn or whatever, my husband will usually kind of cut it down and drag it off. And we'll leave some laying over here and just let it go back to the dirt. And it comes back every year by itself. Really, I don't do anything to these things. It's just whatever God puts in the soil that they get them. Now, I can say this year, the green bush part, the leaves part, that's the tallest it's ever been. And I think that happened because of the fertilizer that I was putting in my green stalk towers. Because if you all remember, my green stalk towers was lined up right across here. I didn't have an opening here where I could walk off the patio into the back part of the garden. And on the back of the green stalk tower is that water hose where the water could drain out, and all the drain fertilizer, whatever, was draining right back into there, which is what I wanted to happen. I wanted to drain out and fertilize back into the soil. I just didn't realize how big it'll make these grow, because if you could see this one leaf here, this one leaf right here, this one right here, it's almost touching my house. It's almost touching the roof of the house. This one right here. Let me swing. This one. It's almost touching the roof of the house. Yeah. I can't point it out in this camera. But yeah, you get the picture. You see that big leaf back there, hopefully. Yeah, but that's they always that tall. And I went through and I kind of clipped them off, you know. And that's the one that's right next to the sidewalk. All the ones that was right next to the sidewalk grew that tall. So yeah, guys, that's what we're doing. Just harvesting some shampoo. I do have some more seedlings to put in, but that's just what we're doing on this video, showing you how the ginger shampoo is actually harvested. And then remember that I said the only reason that I cut them is because it's at the end of the season, and some of them are already turning brown. Other than that, we don't cut them. We go through sometimes during the summer, squeeze them till we fill up a jar, and then we leave them on, because they will fill back up after the rain or heat or whatever the process is for them to fill back up. They do fill back up on their own. They don't just die out. So, but it is at the end of summer. Fall is here, so some of them are dying. I never squeezed any of them that was already brown or dying like that. You know, I just let them go back to the soil. And they die right back into the soil. And then when the leaves start dying, it gets to be a whole lot. We'll clip them down. All that don't break off and die off, we'll clip them down and kind of just keep the area clean and just have leaves packed up over in this area. That is one thing we do. So I guess all that is kind of helping. All right, guys, thank you for watching. If you're new to this channel, welcome, and I hope you subscribe. And if you're a current subscriber, thank you for coming back, and I'll see you on the next one.